Travelers, I'm Chris. Welcome to Lorespire. It has been quite a while since we've live streamed on the channel, so let me know if audio and everything's up to snuff, or if I need to make any kind of adjustments for that. All right, you know. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna play some Daggerfall here, and Daggerfall is mostly just so that I have something to do while talking about the Wayward Realms. Hopefully fielding questions about the Wayward Realms from y'all, or responding to your comments about the game. Mostly just so that I have something to do, kind of in between all of that. And so that y'all maybe have something to watch as well. We are playing modded Daggerfall. Um, Unity, of course, with the Darkerfall mod list. Anyways, yeah. How's it going? How's everybody doing tonight? In-game audio is loud. Don't think there's a way for me to adjust that from here, but I can adjust it. Let's see. Let's see how that does. Let me know if that's any better. Okay. Let's see. Just vibing, chilling. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Eh. The Kickstarter's ending tonight, so I just thought it might be cool to get on and talk about the game a little bit for anybody who was wanting to. So yeah, that's pretty much while I'm here. Let's drop our luck down, raise up our speed some. Not really caring too much about personality, endurance is fine, agility. That's fine. That's fine. All right. Anyways, no idea what I actually want to play here. We're just gonna pick a few things out. It doesn't really matter too much. Let's go with destruction, and we'll go with archery. And long blade. Why not? Dodging, critical strike, and restoration. Sure, restoration, so we can heal some. The background music was super loud. Yeah, as soon as we get into the game, actually, I don't know. I might be able. Oh, damn it! Like I might actually be able to adjust it here. Nope, nope, didn't adjust it, but I sure the hell did back out of everything that I had just made. So that's nice. Just one more time. Hey, what's up, people? So what am I going to be making today? Well, I'm just we're talking about characters. I'm just kind of picking a few things. We're going to go through Privateer's Hold. You know, maybe have a little bit of fun with that. And like I was saying at the beginning, when it may have been hard to hear me because of the game music, mostly the Daggerfall is just to give me something to do while we're discussing the Wayward Realm. So if you have any questions about that, or comments, or concerns, or whatever else, go ahead and put them forth. If not, then I may just choose a topic and start riffing on it here in a little bit. Although right now I'm trying to actually build the characters, so that's taking up most of my, um, I guess, mental bandwidth at the moment. Whatever, that's fine. Go ahead. What did we do? We had restoration. Oh, I don't remember what the other one was. It was Longblade. There we go. And then this was, yeah, dodging. Cool, we'll go with that. Then we wanted etiquette and streetwise. We'll take just all the kind of athletic type things beyond that. Swimming, jumping, athletics, right? Alteration. Was it called something other than athletic? Oh, climbing. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, looks like that's it. So, oh, there we go. Running. That's what I was looking for. All right, cool. Easy way to start. We'll go ahead and give ourselves a couple hit points there. Freaking love the advantages and disadvantages in this game. It's a pretty cool way of doing the difficulties. Hey, what's up, Joe? Nice of you to drop in, sir. Wayfarer, good to see you. The old knight chiming in and telling me that running is what I was looking for, which I did figure out. I guess if I paid more attention to the chat there, I would have figured it out a little bit sooner. Yeah, games that are not alt tab safe do kind of suck, but I imagine they don't know that. But what am I doing? Joe's here; he can answer that for himself. Anyways, I was just going to grab. What was I going to grab? Increased majory. There we go. We're just going to add some of that. And disadvantages. I mean, there's not really. Whatever. That's fine. Exit there. Oh, yeah, we do need a name. Um, there's not. Oh, it's. Oops. Class name, right? Not character name. We'll just go with the classic adventurer. Oh, we still had. There we go. All right, that's fine. We'll just go with a fast start. That's fine. Now we'll go with Thrin. Cool. Sure, we can have a bejeweled forehead. I can go with that. Hey, Wayfarer asking, so the Wayward Realms, did they specifically, or did they specify what they need 2 to 3 months more for? Like these specific tasks? No, not really. They haven't mentioned the specific tasks. We do know that they need 2 to 3 months, probably longer. It sounds like, but at least 2 to 3 months to get all of the visuals into the game and to get all of the systems functioning properly. They did seem to say that the technical team and what they're responsible for is what I guess is where most of the work needs to be done. So yeah, they're it's going to be the technical side of things that gets up to snuff, and then getting all of the visuals and images into the game. But we don't really know like how many of the systems or still need to be added, how many are in there, um or anything like that. Like we don't really have all the info for the specifics there, unless Joe wants to chime in and add something that I don't know about, or correct me there. You got anything, Joe? Feel free to do so. And add some more agility. I'm mostly just adding so much agility because it's difficult to hit things at the beginning of your playthrough in Daggerfall, but with more agility, it becomes easier to hit things at the beginning of your playthrough in Daggerfall. So, yeah. Yep, that seems fine to me. Okay, cool. Let's up a restoration there. That looks pretty good. Running, jumping, climbing. Sucks whenever you're constantly falling while climbing, so we'll go ahead and just put everything into climbing. I'm gonna go with high reflexes. I might do very high if I were able to concentrate more on the game, but we're just gonna go with high reflexes. Looks good to me.
400 years after Tiber Septim's reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close in the Empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the Empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim the Seventh cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion, and one indomitable power hides itself, but not forever.
Hey, what is up, bearded robot? Long time no see, JP. Hope you've been doing well, my friend.
Excuse the gloom, but none may know of this meeting. The nature of my trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him, but his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen.
All right, he wants us to retrieve his letter. All right, sorry. But we've all seen that, and what he was about to say was just kind of like a side note that didn't really matter much anyways. Anyways, you wake up, you look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall. The boat crashed, and you ended up here at Privateer's Hold. No, I don't really care about the tutorial, although I'll probably regret that later. Okay. Sure. Yeah, this is actually a series, or a collection of mods, Joe. It's not just, yeah. A single mod. I forget which button actually toggles. Okay, right, that toggles the interactions. F5 brings up character screen. F6 inventory. Ooh, we got an ebony dagger. That'll be nice. Although, would be better to have a frickin' long sword. Is a saber a long sword? Probably not. Whatever. I'll throw that on. Got a cloak there. Well, glad to hear that you're still here. Let's see, sound. Aha! There we go. Hopefully that, does that sound better? Hopefully you can hear me more clearly now. Okay. Okay, that's resting. That's sneaking. Thought there was a way to switch web. Ah, there we go. H. Okay. I know for sure, Kairos, that the team is going to include Easter eggs in the game, or they have said that they will before. I don't think that recreating cutscenes would be one of those things, though. If you go and look at their mock-ups for the UI on ArtStation, they do have like a bunch of Daggerfall references in those mock-ups. I wouldn't expect, you know, in the actual game to have references to Daggerfall in the UI. Although you might get some quests or maybe some journal entries or something that do have some type of an Easter egg quality to them. But I think it would mostly be like stuff that you just kind of found in the world. I mean, hard to say for sure, I guess. I can't really say for sure, but that's the impression I've gotten whenever they've spoken about Easter eggs before, although it has been quite a while since I've heard them do that. You damn rats. Oof, am I about to die to a rat? I think I am. Wait, don't I have... How do you do magic again? I don't remember how you do magic. Magic. It's been too long. I remember Q recasts the spell, but I don't remember how you get to the spell to begin with. There we go. Spellbook. Arcane Arrow. Salve Bruise. Is that going to heal health? Yes. There we go. Okay. Ha! The rats shall not kill me. I hope. That was a lot of frickin' rats, too. Anyways. Hey, Meme Gazer! Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Very nice, very nice. Don't get a whole lot of those, but do certainly appreciate the support whenever you're able to give it. They actually only take 30%, by the way. But yeah, thank you for that. Certainly do appreciate the support. I'm glad that you appreciate the Wayward Realms content. Just had video drop yesterday evening. YouTube was being kind of screwy, so it was difficult to actually get the video out. It ended up coming out about, I don't know, 10 hours after, maybe not that long, maybe about 8 hours after I had planned for it to come out, so that kind of sucked. And it did screw with how it was delivered in the algorithm and hasn't gotten very many views because of it. But the views aren't really what's like that important, I guess. Well, they are, because the more people who view it, the more people who know about it. But anyways, it's more about just kind of getting the info out there. You damned bat. And it is out there for whoever's interested in the nymphs, the Melora, and the divine hierarchy. There is, of course, an article on that on the website, thelorespire.com, covering it. And if you read the article, you basically get the same information without having to look at my stupid face or hear my monotonous voice. You know, so the article might be preferable in some ways to some people. But also a video on YouTube for it if you prefer to listen to get your info on the Wayward Realms. Oh yeah, for the spell book, it was actually, what was it? Yeah, F5. It didn't take me directly to spell book, but it got me here. There we go. F9 is autosave, which is what we really needed. I keep trying to push inventory for that, or I for inventory. Here we go. All right, there's going to be... Bam! Imp is dead. This right here is probably the worst or most, like, cheating type mod that there is that I have. Is one that gives you a weapon that will actually kill that imp at the start of the game. So yeah, that's kind of cheap. Sorry for anybody who's booing me now for that. Otherwise, I would have just ran by him. And you can actually let the bats and other things kill him. Which is what I would likely have done. I guess I don't have a lockpick, or I don't remember how to lockpick, one or the other. That's fine. Anyways. Let's go ahead and rest. Hey, Kairos. You know, I did consider reading the various stories. I don't think I'm that good at it. And Once Lost Games is also, like, has their own readings of the lore books. They haven't done all of them, of course. And I don't know how much longer it'll take them to do them all. But I kind of didn't want to step on their toes since they had already, like, started doing that, you know? But yeah, I had considered that. Also, there was a channel whenever the Kickstarter was first going on in 2024. ZeniMax Gaming, I think they were called. Something to that effect. Something close to that. I don't know. I'd have to go look. But anyways, they were doing readings of the lore books also, and they started that before me. So it's like, yeah. Of course, I think that they stopped after 1 or 2, so that doesn't really affect me now since it's been years since they released one. But that was also another reason why back in the day I didn't start with that after I ran out of other topics to cover. Where are you at? Oh, there you are. Oh, no! I'm blind! Dude, blind in this game is freaking terrifying. It is so bad. Ugh. I both hope and really, truly, sincerely hope not that the Wayward Realms does blind in the same way, as it would be effective and terrifying, and something that I'm pretty sure, or it's a way that I'm fairly certain really no open world RPGs do blind anymore in such a way. But I don't know, they probably won't, but I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it would be interesting if they did. All right, yeah, I appreciate you going to check that out later there, Meme Gazer. Yeah, like I said, it ended up releasing last night. Usually I release them in the mornings, and I think a lot of people missed it because of that. But anyways, yeah. Let's see, Meme Gazer, I know the full magic system won't be in the EA, but from what they have talked about, their magic system will be one of the most interesting that is tied to their astrology and religions. Yeah, magic is definitely promising to be very good in the Wayward Realms. The plans that they have for the system are great. You know, it's just a matter of them getting them implemented. The early access, or the alpha rather, is going to be extremely bare bones in that regard. I think we're probably just getting spell creations and like a handful of invocations, and a handful of effect invocations, and then delivery invocations. And then, yeah, just like spell creation system itself. I don't know. I kind of feel like even the rituals, the binding to make, major spells probably won't even be in that. Or if it is, like, it'll be just like an extremely simple bare bones version that's not really much of what it is envisioned to be like whenever they describe what they want it to be. But even the bare bones version, I still want to get some time with, for sure. I don't know why I didn't just push F9, but whatever. You know what? We took archery, and we have a bow and arrows, which no, I was about to drop those, I think. I have to equip those? I don't know if I have to equip those or not, but here, let's put on some armor at least. There we go. Even though it's extremely basic, I really like the archery animation. Boom! Yeah, make a badass archer. Anyways, yeah. So we're going to, boom, just go ahead and do this real quick, right, cha. And then I actually, while we got just a moment here, I'm going to go ahead and switch this while we're resting. And we're going to take a look at the Wayward Realms Kickstarter. Joe, do you know what time the Kickstarter actually ends tonight? I know it's 23:59 that it ends, but I have no idea what time zone that is. Anyways, Once Lost Games did recently pass 11,000 backers, as you can see, over $900,000 total pledged. Now, almost all of that, of course, was during the original Kickstarter, or I guess about 3/4 of it or so was. So, most of that was then and has been used, but they have gotten some backings here recently, to help them. I guess, gain a little bit more money and be able to pay a few more salaries to help them get through the next few months and get the actual alpha friends and family build out to people. But anyways, 11,000 backers, 900,000 pledged. Still a couple of more hours left for anybody who would like to back the game, who has not done so, and would like to get access to the alpha version of the game. You still got the chance for the next couple of hours. If you do, great. And if you don't, just make sure that you subscribe to Lorespire, and, I'll keep you as updated as possible between now and whenever the alpha releases. And once it does release, there's just going to be content on absolutely everything, like almost every single day once that happens. So yeah, the point is just subscribe, and I'll keep you updated on all that, all the stuff related to the Wayward Realms. Also, you could join the Once Lost Games Discord. They talk about the Wayward Realms in there every day, and you could stay up to date in that manner if you don't feel like doing so by subscribing to the channel. Anyways, yeah. While we're here, just while I got this pulled up before we get back to the game, I would like to show this right here. This is the Lorespire.com, which is the official Lorespire website. It's going to have more than just Wayward Realms content on it eventually, but the Wayward Realms is the content that is, primarily focused on at this point. Anyways, you can come here, the Lorespire.com, and pretty much all the information that you can find in my videos, you can find here in written form. A lot of the actual articles here go deeper than the videos, if for no other reason than there's been more information released since most of the videos were made. Like most of the videos, except for the most recent 5 or so, most of the videos were made back in 2024, and there's just more information that's been released since then, so that additional information is included in these articles. Also, sometimes it's better just to have a written source than it is to have to go along and listen. But this is here for anybody who's interested and wants to check it out. All right, let's go ahead and get back to the game. Okay, so it's 23:59 Eastern time. Sorry, I couldn't actually see the YouTube chat whenever I was clicked off on the other tabs, but thanks for answering that, Joe. So yeah, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Ah, rats. All right, let's go ahead and switch our weapons back. The bow's feeling just a little bit too much like cheating right now. So yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to this iron. Really wish we had a longsword. Whatever. Iron saber it is. Yeah, thank you, Joe, for the compliment on the website. Yeah, it took me like a month of working on the website to get it to look that good. Of course, I'm no programmer or anything like that. Like, I'm not super tech savvy, so, a lot of it was just like reading articles or watching YouTube videos and just like doing what was suggested there until I figured it out to get it to look like that, you know, which is took a while, but I do think it looks good too, and I think it was worth the time and the effort. Kairos, yeah, I did set up the website myself. I mean, I bought like a WordPress theme called Newspaper for like $60, so I guess technically you could say that that's kind of not like setting it up myself, because I use that theme as a template. Holy crap, holy. Oh, there's two of them. They're doubling up on me. No, y'all fight each other. Don't fight me. Yeah, they opened up a can of whoop ass on me. I thought I was going to die there. Anyways, so yeah, if you, I guess you could say I did not do it by myself, if you count using a theme as getting somebody else to help. But beyond using the theme, like all the adjustments that were made to the theme and all the customizations and everything else, yeah, that was all me. The change for the brand colors and the rebranding was all me too. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, Volgager, it seems like it should be able to look pretty good. What they've shown off so far doesn't necessarily look that great, but that's all just placeholder stuff that they haven't really worked on, like, at all. So really we haven't seen, like, anything that shows, like, what the game might look like in Wicked. Like, not anything that's even close. I mean, maybe a little bit with the original devlog concerning the game switch engine back in February. Like maybe a little bit there we did, like with the dialogue system that was shown. I don't know, but certainly not any of the gameplay parts, I think. Oh, I don't have any spell points, so I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Die. And I meant to open up my inventory there, and I auto-saved, so I'm going to be auto-saved where I'm basically dead. But if we can outrun them while firing arrows at them, maybe we won't die. This would be a lot easier if y'all could not fly over the damn table. Just saying. Whew. I know there's another one, right? Maybe not. Did I kill the other? Nope, I didn't. It's like, I don't think I killed that other one. I did not. Whew. Okay. There we go. I guess we better heal up since we can't heal through magic anymore. Well, I can definitely do that. Copy. Here. That's actually a good idea, Joe. Here is the website if you want to go check that out. Check out everything that's going on there. You know, bookmark it, go back, check it out. I'm trying to put out like an article a week. There's a dozen plus articles on there now. Like I said, it covers most of the stuff that you can find in videos on the website about the Wayward Realms. And while I'm doing that, I should have done this before, which I did not, but I should have. And that is put a link to the Kickstarter in here. There. That's a rather long form link, but it should get you there. Anyways, have a good night, Joe. Thanks for dropping in. Definitely appreciate it. Sorry you couldn't stay longer. Would have been better probably to do this earlier so that he could have stayed longer and so that maybe more people could have shown up. But, you know, with my life and my schedule, I wasn't sure I was going to get to do it at all. So, Just kind of glad that I am getting to do it for a couple of hours here, for a little bit of time. Anyways, that there should be good. So we got our first level. Inventory. Go ahead and put that iron saber back on. There we go. Oh, more bats. I friggin' hate bats. It's just they come in swarms and they're so freaking fast. Like, they're a true pain in the beginning of the game. Bam. There we go. Bat down. And that's pretty much all the healing we can do. Awesome. Yeah, I don't really know anything about, converting, tweaking, reworking assets, any of that stuff. But yeah, I would imagine that coding and doing all the coding would be necessary for that. And coding seems very tedious to me. I've never done it. And maybe if you love doing it, then it's not tedious work. But I don't know. I think I would find it to be such. Oh, crap. I keep on hitting the wrong function key. Okay. Let's go back to that. Ha! Imps don't mean nothing to me. Watch him kill me now. Damn. He is way tougher than that other imp. Did he die? Yeah, he died. That's good. I wanted to say that there was like a way to light these. Something back there. Alright, how do I sheath my weapon? There we go. I'm gonna climb this. There's treasure back there, but apparently I don't climb to get there. What's wrong with being a slimy, scaleback, shady Argonian? They have stories to tell, too. Oh, what would you have preferred I had been, Meme Gazer? What would you have preferred? Ah, we're finally not barefoot. Ah, Claymore. Claymore count as a long blade? It should, right? We're gonna go mess some stuff up now. I am sure there's supposed to be more to this. Okay, that just opens and closes that. Not any way to interact with these. Ah, okay, I can light the candle. There we go. Let's light all these candles. And did that open up the path in? No, it did not. Alright, so I was just hallucinating that that had done something for me in the past. Well, at least it looks cool, damn it. I would imagine that it's super holy balls! Ah! I would imagine that it's super rewarding, like, whenever you get to, like, actually see what you've created. I would imagine that to probably be more rewarding than anything I've done. Certainly anything that I've done for payment. Ah. Yeah, Daggerfall does look really good. I am using a pretty extensive mod list called Darkerfall. But yeah, it looks gorgeous. Freaking amazing. Now, is that... No, that's not the Claymore. Okay. Yeah, I thought I was going to be a badass with the Claymore. First fight I get into with the Claymore, I end up dead. Wah, wah, wah. Hey, Derek, what's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us. I'm actually not sure. We started, I think, at 8:50, so yeah, less than an hour. We've been streaming. Kickstarter finally ends for the Wayward Realms in about 2 hours and 19 minutes, 18 minutes, something like that. There we go. All right, that was not so bad. Apparently, since we had to reload, our magic is no longer bound to queue. There we go. But anyways, yeah. So we've got the alpha probably coming in like 3+ months. Friends and family build. Then some amount of time after that, unknown amount of time. We'll have public early access. Who knows how long that'll be. But yeah, that's just kind of where we're sitting at. Of course, it's going to be on Ijar, even though they are releasing the full archipelago. You know, everything but Ijar is just going to be very bare bones, minimal. There to kind of allow you to get a sense of scale, but we'll have like virtually nothing in it at all. Or at least such is my understanding. But Ijar should be pretty well fleshed out. You know, you've got the conflict between Baron Anatork and Godsend. With Godsend returning to the island, kind of feels like we're gonna get one world event. Kind of feels like Godsend actually arriving on Ijar would be that world event, but you know, that's just speculation on my part. Not really sure whose side I'm on, Godsend or Anatork's. Probably Anatork's, even though I think Godsend would end up being the more interesting of the two characters. Of course, we know almost nothing about Anatork, and we know at least a little bit about Godsend, so of course the one we know more about is more interesting at this point. Who knows if that'll actually stay the case? All right. Well, thanks, Kairos. Appreciate it. Let's see. Derek asked, what archetype am I shooting for when I play my first run? Well, if we're talking about the Alpha Friends and Family build, then it's there's going to be like 3 pre-made characters is what they've said. And we're going to have to choose from one of those. Now, I don't know if that'll be like 3 human pre-mades and 3 orcs. Like, you'll get to choose your race for either one, but then just like kind of have the same pre-made characters, and the only thing that changes is your race or what. But yeah, that's what we're looking at getting. Of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that that they would be exactly the same, because you know that the game is mostly classless. Oh crap! I just killed myself. I fell. Damn it. Anyways, yeah, the game is classless, so you should still have access to all the skills. And while your background might be set, then maybe your starting stats are set, and maybe even your starting skills are set. It sounds like they will be. That doesn't mean that that you won't be able to use other skills and advance other skills. So you could possibly, hopefully, still be able to kind of create your own archetypes or you know, class analogs, I guess. Despite having pre-made characters that you're going to have to select from and play. And if that's the case, then I would definitely be going heavy mage. Oh my god, did I really not save that entire time? Wow, I suck. Anyways, if that's the case, I would definitely be going heavy mage, because magic's what I'm most interested in. You know, I want to check out staffs, see how that functions. I want to see spell creation, even if it is like a super early iteration. Like, I want to test that out and fill that out for myself. Hopefully to get to go through some binding rituals, even if those rituals are extremely bare bones, which is kind of what I'm expecting. But yeah, I am also interested to engage with kind of like the crime and punishment system and the security skills and stuff like that. But I don't know how much of that's actually going to be implemented. If we find out that there is at least some early iteration of that, even if it's very basic, like crime and punishment, then I would probably also work in some thiefly skills and stuff too, just to kind of see how all that's going to work. All right, let's go one more time with that. Oh, I feel like a dumbass for not having saved before. Okay, there we go. That's good. Spell book. And game saved. Where are you at, bats? There they are. Boom! My claymore! Such brutal damage. Did one shot that bad earlier? That was pretty good. I liked it anyways. Well, necromancy is definitely my favorite kind of, I guess, type of magic or school of magic. We don't know for sure, or at least I haven't heard what the different schools of magic will be for the Wayward Realms. We do know that necromancy actually will be one of them, one of the magic disciplines, because they've specifically said that they have something special in store for necromancy, but they're like hiding that or keeping that back, I guess, as some type of big reveal that they're saving for later. So I don't know if necromancy will be available for the alpha build or not. I hope that it is, but if it is, then yeah, I would probably lean pretty heavy into that. Although I feel like the amount of invocations will be pretty limited in the alpha release, so it might be hard to kind of stick to one school of magic or one discipline of magic only. But you know, I'd probably go with something else like themed along those lines. It would depend on what's available, but you know, maybe necromancy and like frost themed, like you know, attack magic. You know, if they do have like blood magic or magic that allows you to like drain health, something along those lines. That of course would fit. If they have like debuffing magic, that would kind of fit the theme. It'll just depend, I guess, on what's actually available. And I'll try to see if there's enough available to fit something thematic like that. If not, then I might just, you know, try to like not specialize in any type of particular magic, but just like use it all. You know, a broad swath. Buffing magic is traditionally like the kind that I'm least interested in. That I find the least interesting, and you won't actually get companions in the Wayward Realms, or at least it's not looking like it. So buff magic, maybe even less useful there because of that. But anyways, yeah. I think that illusion magic, I usually find it extremely fun. Stuff like that. I don't know what the extent of illusion or illusion type spells would be. But you know, the ability to like charm or infuriate or otherwise like control the mental state of whoever it is that you're fighting. Like I do definitely find that to be pretty fun, and that would be cool to test out. Also, you know, spells like invisibility, or you know, chameleon or shadow or some stuff like that, especially if the crime and punishment's in there and I decide to work some type of like crime into my build, lockpicking, pickpocketing, murder, stuff like that into my build, then you know, illusion definitely gets more interesting and helpful then at that point. Ah, there they are. Inventory. Ah! Come on. Dang it. I'm afraid to go out there because I got like one hit left till I'm dead. Come on. Just die already. Oh my god. That was ridiculous. Oh, sure. Now here you come. Am I poisoned? Just as I die. Like, why is my screen flashing like that? I think I was poisoned. And I think I saved after I was poisoned, if that indeed is what happened to me. It says I'm healthy. What the hell was killing me then? Okay. Affiliations. That's not what I need. Alright, maybe we can go and rest and heal that way? So that whatever's going on doesn't... There are enemies nearby. Yeah, if I get far enough in here, there shouldn't be... There we go. Ah, crap. Where are you at, dude? There we go. Dead mage. Alright, we should be good now. You want to be able to build yourself as a walking necrotic tank that can induce extreme fear and raise the dead. Yeah, necromancy is pretty freaking awesome. I don't think there's going to be any way for you to actually be necrotic or undead. Well, vampirism, I guess. So yeah, besides vampirism, still don't think that gets you to necrotic though. Just the undead part. But you know, being tanky, definitely possible. Maybe a vampire tank that specializes in necromantic magic gets you to where you're wanting to be with that build. Holy crap, what was that? Like, teleported me closer to him? Or did he teleport himself closer to me? I don't know. Alright. Screw this. Let's get rid of the bow. Where's our claymore? Oh, yeah. We're going to chop this guy in half. Come on! There we go. Ha! One swing is all it took. Yeah, so another thing that I'm pretty interested in finding out about early access, Ijar, alpha, whatever you want to call it, whenever we get there, is the Corvus Monastery, because there used to be mention of Corvus Monastery being run by monks, and, you know, it also being like a bastion of devotion for Sarkanya, I believe. Anyways, but there hasn't been like any recent mention of that, so it'll be fun, interesting to learn if they just haven't mentioned it recently, or if that's maybe like a final release type thing, not going to be an alpha thing. Because I thought that was a pretty interesting part of Ijar, that aspect of it. That, and then the lore masters, of course, who were once said to be on Ijar. They haven't been mentioned in a long time. Got a feeling that there's definitely not going to be lore masters there anywhere. But we might still get monks in the Corvus Monastery and the worshippers of Sarkanya there. But the lore masters definitely feel like something that would be like late early access or 1.0. What do y'all think? Should we go ahead and just complete everything that there is to do here at Privateer's Hold, or I'm pretty sure we could just leave with only a couple more battles at the point that we're at? Y'all feel like seeing it like completely finished, or y'all just want a GTFO? I mean, all I know is what Kai said in the Discord. You can go to the Discord and you can kind of, search for his message yourself if you want to read it yourself. But basically, what he said was that that his special skills that he brought to the project were no longer needed. That he had completed all the systems that, he had completed all the work on the systems that he was needed for. And that at this point, I guess he had another project or opportunity where his skills could be put to better use, and things that were needed, that Once Lost Games needed done from this point on were things that other members of the team could work on. So he was going to go to the other project, I guess that would be more challenging or require, somebody with more technical skills, since that degree of, I guess, knowledge and ability was no longer needed to get the alpha to its completed point for the Wayward Realms. And that's what Kai himself, like I said, not verbatim. You can go read the verbatim message if you want to on the Discord. But that's, more or less what he said with his departing message for, whenever he left the team. I'm currently unwell. Great. No, okay. See, I'm currently unwell, but I'm healthy. What's that all about? You lied to me. You lied to me. Something's lying to me. Well, let's find out if... Okay, well, whatever the issue was... Oh. I saw we lost a pretty large chunk of health there. So there's something going on with us. I don't really know what it is, but there's something. Anyways, we were at the exit earlier. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but we were there. Yeah, he said, that he respects the team and he likes all the people there, and that he would be open to returning in the future when and if his services are needed again. I mean, if he had stayed, it definitely would have been better for the project. I don't think that there's any question about that. Yeah, but it seems like he's not, necessary or essential to the completion of it any longer. I don't know if y'all can hear me. For some reason, my YouTube setup just went just completely blinked out. So I don't know if I'm actually still streaming to y'all or not. Let me take a moment to go and look at that and see what's going on there. Okay, it looks like we are still live, going on an hour and 10 minutes now. Oh, this game, Derek, is Daggerfall. The Wayward Realms is the spiritual successor to Daggerfall. This is Daggerfall Unity, a modded version, using the Daggerfall mod list. But, it's just something to kind of do so that I have something to do and y'all have something to watch between people's questions about the Wayward Realms and me talking about the Wayward Realms. And something just came up and ended my life from behind. Probably a bat. It sounded like a bat. Damn it. And I hadn't saved for a little while there either. So that's unfortunate. All right, so let's see if we can go ahead and get the heck out of here. I guess while I'm battling my way through these rats that we already saw me kill, I would mention again that the last chance to become part of the alpha playtest group for the Wayward Realms is tonight. We got less than 2 hours before the ability to become a late backer for the Kickstarter and gain access to the alpha completes. You know, so if that's something that you think you might be interested in, you know, go and check that out. There's a link to the Kickstarter right there if you want to go check it out. Also, I would mention that had a video that I put up yesterday for the Nymphs, Melora, and the Divine Hierarchy of the Wayward Realms. You know, which just does what it sounds like it would do. It explains to you what the Nymphs are, the Melora are. Goes super deep on both of the subjects, like as deep as we can possibly go at this point on either one. The Melora are probably the most interesting entities in the Wayward Realms, and the video does explain more for them just because they're more interesting and we have more lore for them than it does on the Nymphs, but we still go as deep on the Nymphs as we can, and just kind of give the structure of the Divine Hierarchy as it is understood by most people in the archipelago. And I'm just mentioning that because we had some problems with it yesterday whenever it came out, and because of that, like, not many people have heard about it or watched it, so just kind of mentioning that there. Pretty much every week we've got a new lore video for the Wayward Realms dropping, and then on the Lorespire.com, pretty much every week, yeah, maybe not every week, but at least once every 2 weeks, try to keep it to every week, but at least once every 2 weeks we have, you know, articles for the Wayward Realms and eventually other games. Just trying to get all the bases for the Wayward Realms covered before I start in with the other games. But yeah, pretty much everything that you can find in any one of my videos is in one of those articles there on the website, and usually in deeper detail. Come on, come on. We're almost out of Privateer's hold. There's got one more damned bat in there. I do hear a skeleton too, somewhere. But I think the skeleton's actually above us, and I'm probably not going up there. What would I say is the most uniquely identifying feature of this game, and do you think the Wayward Realms will continue it? Well, I mean, the most uniquely identifying feature is probably the scale, I guess. Like, you know, there's just very, very, very few games that have been anywhere even kind of close to as big as Daggerfall. The Wayward Realms, of course, is going to be like twice the size of Daggerfall. So the scale is probably the most noteworthy thing. Although for me, what is more exciting than that is the kind of natural character progression. and the character builder. You know, because character progression and builders have been kind of, you know, like streamlined over the years, over the decades. And the Wayward Realms, with what they have planned for character progression and, you know, the ability to build your character. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that in the alpha. Hopefully it does come to the early access. I think that it will eventually. But what their plans are for that are just like a natural extension of what Daggerfall could have been. And I don't know. I think that it could be one of the most interesting character builders and one of the most natural feeling character progression systems that I've ever had in any RPG. We'll have to wait and see how the execution comes out, but the plans for it are very promising, I guess is my point. And even though the scale is more identifiable, I would say that to me that is more exciting. And can you hunt Melora and collect their teeth as a trophy? I don't think you'll be able to collect their teeth as a trophy. I also don't think that you'll be able to kill Melora. You know, Melora kind of like Daedric Prince level in the Wayward Realms. So yeah, you're not going to kill one. And if somehow you did kill one, or maybe you tricked one into dying, or maybe you got like two of the Melora were fighting and you went to go like rob the corpse of whichever one lost. I don't think that damn it. I tried to heal there, but I was too busy thinking about what I was gonna say, I guess. Oh well. Anyways, I don't think that there would be any teeth to loot on them, even if you did somehow find one of their bodies to loot. All right, I think we're just gonna go ahead and leave Privateer's Hold at this point, right? Feels like that's probably the thing to do. I said we weren't gonna go upstairs and fight that skeleton, and then I just kind of went upstairs and fought the skeleton, and you saw how that went. Not well, not well. Ah! You... I don't like you. So, oh my god, she kicked my... I should have healed more. Wow. I can, apparently she deals damage faster than I can heal, so that's good to know, I guess. There we go. Battle Mage is down. Dead, finally. Wow, I can't even carry gold? That sucks. That book is worth a lot of money. And we also got a steel bow. That's nice. Let's get rid of some of this iron junk here. Oh, I'm equipping that stuff, aren't I? Damn it. You know what? It just occurred to me, whatever's affecting me is lowering all my stats. That's why we can't carry crap. Alright, iron staff. Get some gloves on. One thing you can't expect, I guess, something else as we sit here and look at the armor and our character here. Armor is going to be layered in the Wayward Realms, kind of similar to how it is here in Daggerfall, although I think there's going to be even more layers and more pieces for the Wayward Realms. So, you know, armor is very much going to be like what you have on underneath your armor, what you're wearing over your armor, your actual armor itself, and how all of that kind of combines to give you an armor rating. Seems like it's going to be very customizable. Don't know if there'll actually be anything in place to allow you to like dye your armor or change the colors of your armor. That's probably not going to happen, but it is planned for there to just be like a ton of different versions of all the armor, so that you can kind of, so that you'll have, you know, like a bunch of different styles and colors and stuff to just kind of naturally choose from. Armor is also going to come, or I guess armor and weapons will also come in like 3 different, well, weapons will come in 3 different types of material. I guess armor would have a lot more than 3. But the main thing would be, I guess, that I'm going for here, trying to say here, is that they will have 3 different types of metals. There'll be like steel, Wedharan. I think it's steel, Wedharan. Not sure beyond that. Maybe the other one was just plain iron. There's also silver and gold, which we don't know if we'll have any weapons that are actually... Fell silver. That was the other one. It was steel, fell silver, and Wedharan, I think, are the 3. And then armor, of course, can come in those 3 types of metals. And then there's also, like, cloth and, you know, non-metals, like leather, cloth. I'm not really sure what it would be besides leather and cloth, but there's probably something else in there as well. All right, we're going to have to get out of here and get to a healer for sure. There are enemies nearby. You know what? Screw that. There are no enemies nearby. We're done with this place. That's GTFO. Hey, what's up? MK Mangrum? I don't know. I'm not wearing my glasses and the letters are small on the screen. I'm just going to call you MK. Okay? Anyways, how's it going? Any questions? Any comments? Any concerns? We're going in on the last hour and 40 minutes or so of the late backing for the Kickstarter of the Wayward Realms. Last chance for anybody to get access to the alpha if they so wish. If you don't wish, just subscribe to the channel. I'll be covering it in full detail once it's here. Yeah, pretty consistently and constantly, I would imagine, once it finally does release. All right. Enemies are just following me everywhere. I see him way over there. I don't even have any space to be able to like any encumbrance left, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. All right, where's the map? That's what I need. I need the freaking map. How do I get to the map? Nope. I've contracted the plague. Well, balls. Very serious, often fatal disease. Very quickly it will spread through your system. Few have contracted it live for more than a few days, unless they are cured quickly. All right, so I guess that means we're trying to make it to a temple lickety-split. If I can figure out how to access my map and... fast travel. Alright, well, V is travel, so I just gotta get far enough away from this enemy to travel. Not another enemy up there, is it? Alright, I can call you Mac. Mac works. Yeah, Fell Silver sounds pretty awesome. I think it's going to be something that is more effective against werewolves. I'm not sure actually if it's Fell Silver or regular silver that's going to be like that, but one of them will be. Not really sure of the properties of Fell Silver, other than it just sounds like some type of silver alloy just from the name. We do, of course, know all about Wedharan. That's supposed to be rare and very expensive, so maybe something that you don't really use until later in your playthroughs. Or maybe something that you, if you do use it earlier in a playthrough, like you only use it for like the most difficult missions, you know, and otherwise you kind of leave it behind, or you leave it off and use other armor because of how expensive it is to try to repair. Aha! There we go. Alright, where is a close by town? Dungeons, homes, towns, temples, actually. I want temples. Where is a close by temple? Alright, let's go there. We're going recklessly. No, I'm not doing player controlled journey. Okay, let's go. Oh, I think I just died. Did y'all hear me die? I think I heard me die. Oh, nope, I didn't die. Did I die? I did die. I thought I didn't die for a minute there. Well, that sucks because that was like the closest thing to us and it was still too far, so we might be boned. Welcome, adventurer. You died a warrior's... No, I died of the plague. The frickin' plague I died of. That's not a warrior's death. Alright, we gotta just, like, get the hell out of here. Alright. Alright, temples. Alright, let's go. Burning Soul of Kinnereth. Recklessly. On foot. Okay, so we survived the fast travel this time, which is good. And now we just... Where's the actual... No, it's right in the middle. Alright, I guess that makes sense. Oh. Alright, Isana Mastersmith. I just want to get healed. Like, I'll join if I have to. There we go. Cure disease. Really? I don't have 381 gold, you asshole. Can I make you like me? And then it costs less? Probably not. What if I join the guild? God damn it, really? No discount for being a member, huh? Oh, you suck. Yeah, disease resistance would have been pretty freaking nice. Let's see, Derek says each playthrough is completely separate from the last one. Won't be able to hand off anything at all from my current character to my next character, or I guess my next character from my last character. Or even deal with the state of the world from my last run. Yeah, that is how it is going to be. The state of the world will not carry over from one game to the next. You know, there's not going to be any new game plus or any type of feature that allows for that. It might be possible to pass gear on to from one character to another if you use a friend, because there will be co-op in the final game. So theoretically, you should be able to like give any gear that you want to go to a new character to your friend, and have, because they're supposed to be able to keep whatever gear they collect whenever they join your session. So theoretically, you could like give them the stuff that you want to go to your new character. Then they could you could end the co-op session, and then you could start the new character and invite them to the co-op session with the new character, and they could give you the stuff. So you could in like use that workaround to give stuff from one character to another. But the state of the world and things of that nature would not carry over. It is something that people have brought up quite a few times, though, so maybe if it's a popular enough idea, maybe you get a mod for it or something. But yeah, not going to be part of the game as far as Once Lost games is concerned. I mean, never say never, I guess, but they've addressed it, and it's definitely not in the plans at this time. And there's not going to be a store here. Damn it. I think we're gonna die then because we don't have gold. How lame is that? Alright, is there a nearby town? We're gonna die traveling there. Oh, we didn't die. Do they have... Okay. There are stores here. Statues too, apparently. Come on, be open. Of course you're not open. Damn it. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna die. Think I died. It does not seem that you'll be able to have a dog. Highly unlikely. There is some talk that orcs in the lore of orcs using wolves to anyways, yeah, there's some talk in the lore of orcs using wolves like for hunting and stuff like that. So it does seem lore friendly that possibly you could get an animal companion, although I don't think it's going to happen because they've said companions aren't going to happen. So I think it pretty unlikely, but I mean, that definitely seems like one of the things that would be modded in by somebody, though. But yeah, seems pretty unlikely to get it in the base game at any one point. Maybe through some type of DLC or expansion eventually someday. All right. So we need to get to the town. Okay, we're like right frickin' there. We're like right there. We probably could have walked there in just a couple minutes. Okay, we're here. It is daytime. We can... You notice a curious sight nearby. An orc bundled up in a human clothing is attempting to go about the town as an ordinary person. He doesn't appear to be doing any harm as yet, but you don't know his intentions. Do you call for help, attack him yourself, or leave him alone? Sure, let's call for help. All right, so I get to take the orc's possessions, I guess, so that's nice. I can't carry any more stuff, though, because... God, my carry weight's down to 40. That's what I'm dying from. My stats are reaching 0. All right, maybe we come and loot this guy once we find a store. Okay, that's a mage's guild, not a store. All right, we need to go that way. You will get to own your own player home, though. You know, with I would imagine probably more than one. You can also own your own ship once it eventually gets to that point. Actually, they want there to be a ship in Alpha, so maybe it begins at that point for the ships at least. Oh, come on, really? Okay, here we go. Somebody's got a shop that's open. Thank Bob for Gondestir, whatever his name is. Alright, we're going to sell you a bunch of crap that we don't need in hopes of curing ourselves of the plague before we die from it. I had to drop so much of our loot just to be able to move earlier. This book's worth a lot, though, so... Really? It's worth 1182, everything that I just put in there. He's going to give me 369. Fine, whatever. Oh, and now I'm paid with a letter of frickin' credit instead of... The temple better take a letter of credit or I'm going to be pissed. Alright, temple. Any of these blue spots... Shit, are green spots temples? And blue spots are guilds? I thought blue spots were temples. Oh, whatever. We're going over here. We'll find out. What is the driving factor behind the player character being an adventurer? Like, what is the motivation to push the PC player character to endlessly travel the world? Well, they want the player to be an adventurer, I guess, because the gameplay loop that we're going for is supported by that. You know, like you reach a new city or population center. We're about to be dead again. Anyways, you reach a new city or population center, and from there, you will find quest givers, and they'll give you quests where you'll venture out away from the population center. The farther you get from the population center, the more dangerous things will be. You know, the stronger the enemies will become, the better the loot will be. All of that kind of stuff. I think that might have been a guild and not... Yep, that's a freaking guild. Okay, maybe I should have been going to the green. Anyways, so the gameplay loop will be find a new population center, get your quests, go out into the wilderness to complete your quests, collect loot, kill enemies. Like I said, the farther away you get from the population center, the more difficult things will be. And then once you are fully encumbered and you don't have any more room and your quest is complete, then you return to the population center, you sell all your stuff, you turn in your quests, and then you kind of repeat that process. Whenever you're ready to move on to a new population center, you do. And you just kind of go from there. There will, of course, be world events, and maybe that's more of what you're speaking of. There will be world events that you can participate in, but you don't have to. They'll happen with or without you. And those are going to be kind of the driving story of the game. There will also be guilds or various factions for you to interact with, and they'll give you quests and quest lines that will probably push you forward to new places. World events and at least primary faction quest lines should be handwritten, while most everything else will be auto-generated. But yeah, those handwritten quest lines will kind of push you forward. The BGM will kind of push you forward, and then just your own natural desire to see what's over the horizon, I guess, would push you forward. Hey, what is up, Sam? How you doing? How you doing, my friend? So glad that you could show up and make it and hang out for a bit. I don't know why they wouldn't let me into the frickin' Temple of Kinnereth. We are going to be dead very soon. Well, good to have you awake. As I recall, you're usually more of a night owl, so makes sense that you would still be awake at this time, unless that's changed recently. How have you been? How have you been? Therapy and everything been going well? Your physical therapy, that is. So the backstories is an interesting question. In Alpha, of course, you won't be able to. They might have like a couple of preset backstories for you to choose from in the Alpha. In the early access version, you know, 1.0 or early access, at some point between the Alpha and 1.0, they will implement the full character creator. And part of that will be the ability to choose your backstory, not write your backstory. I had suggested at one point that we actually get to like write our backstory, like, you know, like we can use our keyboard to actually type what we want our backstory to be. Doesn't look like that's likely to happen, but they should have a wide variety of backstories to choose from. They were actually talking about doing quests similar to Daggerfall here in character creation. You know, there's like a couple of dozen questions that they'll ask you at various points, and they'll use that to create your character, or they can here in Daggerfall. And so they were going to kind of take that that approach, where they'll ask you various questions, and then you'll answer those questions, and the game would actually generate a backstory for you. based on how you answered those questions, and of course, based on how you answered the questions and the backstory that is generated for you, that would also maybe affect some of your skills and stats and stuff like that. So yeah, not going to get to write a custom backstory that will be recognized, but you know, answering those questions and having one generated from you based on those answers, probably about as close to that as you could realistically get. Um, so yeah. Hey, what's up? Mnemonics? I'm gonna call you Mnemonics. You need a white pill on the... I don't know what a white pill on the Wayward Realms means. If you were talking like red or blue pill, I guess I could work that out. From the Matrix reference. Don't know what white pill means though. I'm glad to hear your arm's getting better there, Sam. Your negativity is really bringing you down, so you need some positivity? Well, I've been doling out positivity in spades all night, or as much as I can anyways. I mean, it's easy to be negative with the delays, you know, like, for sure. And that does kind of suck, but the delays won't be for forever, you know? 3 months from now or 6 months from now or, you know, whatever, like, we'll all be in the alpha, playing the Wayward Realms, sharing stories about it. And the negativity of this time with all the delays and everything will just be a thing of the past. Oh, wow, you are way cheaper than the other Temple of Kinnereth. Yes, cure my plague, please. I've already died of the plague like 5 times. Bam. All right, thank you very much. Nice, nice. Yeah, I not wearing my glasses, but I can kind of see there's like probably like Silent Ilm, and I can just not say the 13-15 part. So yeah, mnemonics, awesome. You know, blind squirrels find the nut every now and then, and all that. So good job on me for finding the nut there. I mean, there's plenty of hopium to be had. You know, here, you want some hopium? Bam! Here comes the hopium. Where's it at? Oh, I need to rest. Just a second. Let me start the rest. Ah, shit! It's illegal to rest here. Okay, screw the rest. Let's just get you the hopium that you need. Here we go. Here's the hopium that I can offer. Check this out. So the Wayward Realms, only for an hour and 18 more minutes. It is the Wayward Realms is available to be backed, and you can back it to gain access to the alpha version of the game when that releases, which is probably going to be sometime in September or later of this year. Okay, but the hopium to be had here is, look at this. It's over 11,000 backers now. Over 900,000 dollars that it has gained, you know, and those are good numbers to be able to show off to a publisher once the alpha is released, you know, and they have gameplay and everything to show within the new engine. Then they can show off these numbers, you know, the number of backers that they got, the amount of money that was pledged to it as a way to give publishers, you know, to reassure them that people really are interested in the game. So yeah, once the alpha starts, they can use these numbers and the alpha and the feedback they get from the alpha to go to publishers to be able to get more funding to then be able to improve the game and release the early access. Even if they don't get the publisher, early access is coming either way. to just take longer without it. Then once early access starts, you know, that will bring in people, that will bring in, you know, new people through Steam who are buying the game, buying the early access version of the game, and those will be further numbers that they can use to secure the backing of a publisher if they have it already by that time secured the backing of a publisher. So there's kind of the hopium that I got for that. I know there's a lot of doom and gloom. Oh, the project's never happening. You know, some people are saying or whatever. I don't believe in that for a second. We're definitely getting the alpha, and I'm certain that we're getting the early access too. It's just how long until the alpha and the early access, and then after that, how much engagement does the project get to be able to secure a publisher? And I believe that there will be enough engagement and fan interaction and you know, just like public support once the early access is released, that they will be able to get a publisher. So there's kind of my hopium spiel. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit. Also, while I got it here, go check out the lorespire.com copy. Anyways, yeah, go check out the lorespire.com shown right here on your screen. We've got pretty much all of the publicly available info and lore on the Wayward Realms here on this website. There will be other games that are coming in the future. You know, lore and stuff, lore, game systems, news for other games. But I'm trying to get the Wayward Realms fully covered. We're almost there. And then once it is fully covered, then I'll have to go ahead and select a new game to start adding information about. If you have any suggestions for any games that you might want to see more lore on, you know, go ahead and throw those in the chat. But anyways, yeah, thelorespire.com. Go and check it out. Now back to our Daggerfall playthrough, which really, Daggerfall is just something for me to do and for y'all to watch while I'm talking about the Wayward Realms and, you know, answering questions about the Wayward Realms. So please, any questions that you have about the Wayward Realms, that's really what the stream is for, not really so much for Daggerfall. So be sure to ask any questions that you have, make any comments that you have. If you want to express your doubts and just talk about how much the recent events have sucked, like, you're welcome to do that. If you need some hopium like mnemonics here, you know, let me know and I'll do my best to provide said hopium. I mean, I'm full of hope for this project. It's something that I do fully believe in, and I think that we need to fully believe in it. You know, like, nobody else is trying to do something like this, at least not that I'm aware of. And I think it would be a very long time, maybe not ever, before we had somebody else trying to do something like this. Even if they don't end up getting a publisher one day and it doesn't work out, we're still getting the alpha, we're still getting the early access, and we got to try, people. Like, we've got to try to make it happen. All right, it's our one chance at it. If we try hard enough and we get enough people to support the game once it's in early access, then, like, they'll get a publisher and we'll get the full release. If everybody gets all down and negative on the game and, you know, like, abandons it or whatever, then you know what? We'll still get alpha and early access, but maybe that'll be it. So keep your spirits up. And, you know, you can always DM me on Discord if you need to talk or something like that. Or, you know, send me a message under one of my videos and tell me whatever you have to tell me there. So what I actually need right now is an inn. Let's see if we can find an inn. Okay, I believe you're a commoner, so we want to speak bluntly. Location, tavern. Okay, so the green is taverns. Okay. Well, in that case, I should be able to just go right over here, right? Yeah, there we go. That's a tavern. Cool. Let's go rent a room and rest up. see. Derek asked earlier. I kind of. Why isn't? Whoa. Are we still streaming? Because what it shows to be showing in the stream is definitely not what I'm doing here. Oh, crap. Can y'all hear me okay? Okay, alright. I don't know why, but for some reason the video for the stream that was showing on my screen was like way behind, and I thought I was still somehow showing y'all the websites from earlier. Anyways, that was not the case. So Derek asked, will there be various starting locations in the final game, or is it always Ijar? One of the best things I've ever experienced in games with Big World is alternate starts. It gives you a sense of home. Yeah, I think Ijar is going to be the only starting location. They have talked about having maybe different points on Ijar where you can begin. Personally, I agree with you. Like the best mods for Elder Scrolls and Fallout are the alternate start mods. Maybe they're not the very best, but they're definitely up there. And I do greatly appreciate those. We'll definitely get alternate start mods for this, I'm sure. And I hope that Once Lost Games does decide to actually just give us our own kind of like choice of starting somewhere besides Ijar. But as far as I know right now, the plan is for Ijar to be the only starting spot to, like, even in 1.0. Maybe that changes at some point. Maybe we get a DLC where that changes. If not, we'd have to require or look to mods, I guess. But like I said, they have talked about possibly letting you start at different places on Ijar. And since Ijar is pretty big, like the island of Ijar itself, like by itself, I believe is bigger than the game world of Skyrim. So, you know, like that's not nothing being able to like choose where you start at on Ijar. But yeah, it would still definitely be better if you could choose the whole of the archipelago, or at least many different spots from the whole of the archipelago to start at. Hey, Victor's here. Okay, I just noticed that you're here, Victor. Now Victor's probably going to countermand everything that I just said about the start of the game. Why are you telling me good luck and you're counting on me for what? I have no idea what you're talking about, Victor. Counting on me to save King Lysandus and Daggerfall? Because that's almost certainly not going to happen. I already died of the plague 5 times and we barely just started. Although I did recently get my plague cured, so that's kind of good. There we go. I knew Daggerfall was somewhere around there. Okay, we don't have the plague anymore, so we don't really have to travel recklessly anymore. Yeah, I think we're probably fine to just... Player control... I do not want a player-controlled journey. Why is that happening? Okay. I'm not sure why I was having that player controlled journey before, but it's fixed now. All right, let's go. Hey, what's up, Anita? Glad that you're here. I thought about doing an actual countdown like I did for the original end of the Kickstarter before it hit the late backer status. No, we had the 24-hour countdown at that time. It didn't feel like the right thing to do here, but I did want to do like something for it. So we're not actually counting it down, but I am here for it. You got an hour and 6 minutes left to back the Kickstarter to gain access to the Friends and Family Alpha version of the Wayward Realms whenever it releases. You know, probably 2 to 3 months, or 2 to 3 months, probably longer. So, yeah, probably like September or later. Anyways, yeah, you got an hour and 6 minutes to do that, and then the opportunity is forever gone. Although you would still be able to join the public early access once that eventually becomes available. I don't have 300 gold, so that's a pretty easy decision to make. All right, so Victor has said that I will always be wrong and they will make sure that I'm wrong. So I guess I should only start I should start reporting that the Wayward Realms is a clone copy of Skyrim from here going forward. And if I do that, maybe then we'll get the game that we want. What do I think that Once Lost Games will say or do if the publisher wants MTX or paid DLC packs? I'm not sure what MTX is. If that's like some type of like in-game store or something, like that's not happening, I'm sure. You know, there won't be any type of like pay to play or pay to win features like that. No in-game store to like reskin your armor or something like that. That's not going to happen. Paid DLC though, like I don't know, like I feel like they'd probably say yes to that. That doesn't seem unreasonable at all. Most games have paid DLC. I would be fine with that. I don't see any issue with that. I feel like they'd say, sure, if you want paid DLC, then that's fine with us. Okay, so let's head up there to the palace. Feels like we should go to the palace, right? I don't actually know what the quest is. All right, well, it does mention the Queen of Daggerfall, so yeah, let's go there. Nice, nice. Well, I'm glad that you appreciate it, Victor. As you can see, Joe got me one of these nifty little stream team logos that y'all can see in the top right corner. And the stream was already set up, and I was like less than 15 minutes from starting it. And he was just like, oh yeah, we also got this. You should add it. And yeah, we ended up being a little bit late because of that. But it's a cool, nifty little logo to have. Give me some type of unofficial status. Officially unofficial status? Whatever it is. Something. It's something. Yeah, agreed, Anita. We actually, just maybe like 10 minutes before y'all got on, we were going over the Kickstarter stats, and we were on the Kickstarter website trying to give Mnemonic some hopium that he was needing. Ah, microtransactions. That was the word I was looking for. I knew that it was microtransactions, which is why I continued to describe microtransactions, but yeah, my brain would not bring the actual word forth for me to say. But yeah, there will be no microtransactions. I'm 1,000% sure of that. Or since Victor's here to do the opposite of what I say, maybe I should say that I'm 1,000% sure there will be. Right? Maybe that's what I should say. All right. Well, we're not getting into there. It's magically sealed. Maybe I got to get the letter first or something. So for now, maybe we just go and rest here and wait for that letter to show up. You like paid DLC until it's a single horse armor? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, that's basically just microtransactions again. You know, hiding behind the word DLC. By paid DLC, I'm talking like, you know, we get that alternate start thing that we were talking about before, or, you know, like we get some type of significant expansion of content, or maybe like the ability to like build our own homestead in some place or something like that. It would be something significant, certainly not a piece of horse armor. What the hell just happened? Crap. Yep, we shouldn't have done that. At least we're not plagued anymore. But I was not planning on starting an adventure so soonly. Was that a freaking scorpion? That better have been like a rat or something. Yeah, thanks for the stream team logo. I think it does look pretty good. Have a good night there, Victor. Thanks for showing up to embarrass me. Very much appreciated. Ah, crab. That's what it is. Okay. It's like, that didn't look like a rat, but there's not scorpions. Yeah, I should have thought crab. Die! Oh my god, this is one hell of a tanky crab. Please give me a start relevant to my background, especially if the game generates one for me. Well, we went over that before, how they're going to have the questions and everything, so it seems like not in alpha, not in the Friends and Family build, probably not at the start of early access, but eventually, once we get the proper character creator, like, you should have, you should get a backstory that actually represents your character's backstory. That seems like a pretty done deal from the plans that they've laid forth. Ooh, lich dust. Some boots that we can put on. Oh, we got a silver claymore. That's much better than what we were using. There we go. Wow. So she just like, okay, there we go. Secret door. Like, she just like teleported us into a room that we can't get out of. But no, secret door in the closet. Oh shit, is that What is that? I don't know what that... Oh, no, a sprig? Is that a spriggan? That thing's gonna whoop my ass, isn't it? Feels like it should whoop my ass. Ha! Apparently at level 2, I'm stronger than a spriggan. Go me. We better rest, though. Oh, of course, there are enemies nearby. And there are still enemies nearby. Frickin' awesome. All right. Oh my god. Oh, I'm trapped in here with it. That's not good. Oh, it's gonna kill me. Okay, it didn't. Alright, can I rest now, please? Damn it, there's more enemies nearby. I don't know where they are. There we go. Will there be armies several hundred strong clashing in battlefields? We don't actually know. Seems like something that could be possible for a world event. We're definitely not getting something like that in early access. Honestly, I feel like that's probably not going to be something we get in a world event either, but that's just kind of my feeling. I think they have said that they want to do that or something like that for some type of world events. But it's kind of up in the air whether it will actually, I guess, happen or not. I don't think it would be... I don't think there's really any chance of it being a regular thing, though. You know, world events are like... At least scripted world events are like one-time kind of happenings. If they do end up having the randomly generated world events, then, you know, maybe it's something that could happen more often or more regularly. Would that Lord Victor were still here so that he could give a more definitive or better sounding answer than that. Ha! I can just cheaply shoot you all from here, which is pretty great. Oh shit, is that a bear? I don't remember how strong bears are, but seems like they should be pretty strong. Holy crap, that hurt. Don't kill me. And you're trying to, aren't you? Phew. Great, where's this enemy? Spriggan, of course. Oh! Actually, I think the enemy was the bear. Shite. Ha! Yes, the bear fell. No longer a threat to me. Go battle the Spriggan. Damn it! Stop moving, you freaking Spriggan. I can't hit you. I don't like you. Alright, good. At least now I should be able to hit you. Oh, really? Joe told me that the Kickstarter was supposed to last. Oh, you know what? It was Eastern time, wasn't it? Whoops. Well, looks like I bungled that then. Yeah, the Kickstarter does seem to be done. So yeah, looking here, you can see that the Kickstarter has ended. So there we go. After, well, how long? 18 months, I guess. Wait, no. That would have been a full 23 months. So 23 months of late Kickstarter backing. 24 months if you want to include the actual, like, full month of the full Kickstarter. 24 months later, after that opened, it has finally ended. No more late backer pledges, no more ability to gain access to the alpha friends and family version of the game. Yeah, so that kind of ends an era, or at least a chapter, of the Wayward Realms development. And now we're going to be entering the chapter where it's just like balls to the wall, one foot in front of the other, just straight working on getting the alpha ready to go for everybody to play. Should be nothing else to distract from that, nothing else to concentrate on, you know. Wouldn't say nothing else to care about, but it should definitely be the primary concern that like 95% of all effort and attention is being devoted to here going forward, for sure. So looks like it ended with 11,060 backers who pledged $902,119. Thank you to everybody here who helped support the project. It's one that I truly believe in, and yeah, we'll continue to support for so long as I do believe in it. And it's pretty impressive. 11,060, 902,000. Good numbers. Good numbers. Hopefully the early access numbers will dwarf that once that finally gets here. They should, because at that point in time there'll be an actual playable version of the game. Anyways, I'm still going to be here for a little bit longer, taking questions, listening to comments. If you got any gripes or complaints you want to get off your chest about the Wayward Realms, or if you have any questions about the Wayward Realms, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. The ability to back the game is over. It does appear. But yeah, it was good times. If you do want to support the game, you can still do so through their merchandise store. You can find links to that on their Discord or their YouTube channel, or pretty much anywhere else that they have social media. You can also still get a copy of Ted Peterson's, a physical signed copy of Ted Peterson's book there. If that's something that you want. I've bought a couple of those, waiting for them to come in one day. It's going to be pretty exciting when they do. And I see, Anita, you probably said it before I did, but I could see that, yeah, you were saying the same thing about the merchandise store. They do have some pretty awesome Fortuna pieces on there, like the Fortuna clothing item. She's my favorite goddess anyways. Some of that stuff's pretty awesome. They have some pretty sweet mouse pads. They have Tankard right here. This thing is freaking phenomenal. You can't see it that well. Maybe you can see it a little bit better there. But super clean, super awesome. This is actually my favorite piece of merchandise. I use it almost every day. So, anyways, yeah. If you want to support the game, you can always do so through the merchandise store. at this point, that is going to be the only way to financially support it going forward. Other easy ways, non-financial ways to support the Wayward Realms, just like share as much information as you can about it as much as possible. You know, anytime that you see anything, like watch the video, leave a comment, you know, share the links on your social medias. All that kind of stuff helps immensely, helps spread the word about the game, helps more people become aware of the game, helps, you know, the content creators like me who are making content for the game, helps them reach a wider audience. The wider audience we reach, the more people become aware of the game, and the more people who will be able to join the early access whenever that gets here. The more people who join the early access whenever it comes around, the easier it will be for them to get a publisher. So, you know, all of that kind of stuff really, really does matter. So you don't necessarily have to support financially. Just watch every video, leave a comment every time, share share everything on your social medias every chance that you get, and just, you know, try to support spreading the word about the existence of the Wayward Realms. Ah, you damn bear. I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing here. I guess just trying to escape. The story time posts that OLG posts on their channel, I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're talking about like the story of Arthur? Or are you talking about the lore book readings that they're doing? Or are you just talking about like general, like lore announcements in general? Now, I do occasionally play the lottery, and if I ever win, then I'll become their publisher and publish the game. But that's probably not going to happen. So hopefully there's a real publisher out there watching and saying yes to what you said there, Anita. Yeah, okay, you're talking about the lore book readings. Yeah, those are definitely good. If I had the kind of talent they did to read those, I'd do some myself. Somebody was asking earlier at the beginning of the stream if I'd ever do those, and I'd considered it, but they're already doing them, and they do it better than me. So, you know, I just kind of let them keep on with that. But yeah, Flesh Ripper, I forget the other one. I like the Goblin one better than Flesh Ripper. Flesh Ripper was all right. The A Thief's Fall, I think it's called. The other one. Yeah. I liked A Thief's Fall better. Ah, no. 2 bears? That is not fair. Whew. If you look at the library of logos on their website, like if you go to thewaywardrealms.com, here, 1 second. I'll get you the actual link to it. Just give me 1 second here. Where's that at? Facts and rules. All right, so here, let's see. Kickstarter, Linktree, send your friends an invite, shop the merchandise. Here we go, the game's website. So here's a link to the website. And you should find a tab in the top right corner of that website that says Library of Logos, I think. And if you click on that, it should have all 12 of their lore books there. all 12 of their released lore books. We know that they have 30 more that are written and edited for the release of the alpha and early access, and then they have another 20 plus more beyond that have been written but not edited that we should get to see at some point during early access, but we don't really know when. And then there will probably be dozens of more beyond that as well. I'm also just going to drop their link tree in here real quick because the link tree has pretty much every single link to everything. So there's that. That links to basically everything about Once Lost games. No, the books should still be there. Don't tell me. No, I saw the books the other day. They're still there. All right, I'm going. Here, let's do it. Let's go there. Let's go there. Maybe it's on their, not on the game website. Maybe it's on the company website. But here, let's go. The Wayward Realms website. They need to remove the Kickstarter is live and pledge here. We'll have to remind them in the Discord to go ahead and remove that now. Let's see, Wayward Realms. Well, damn. You know what? I'm not seeing it there. Let's see, the Wayward Realms Library of Logos. Okay, so here's the library. I think they may have just deleted the navigation to it. Because, yeah, I didn't see any way to actually navigate here. But it shows that it's still on the waywardrealms.com. But I'll go ahead and put the link to this right there. Here's a direct link to the Library of Logos, since they were talking about how they wanted to make changes to the website and they wanted to make updates to it, and they actually wanted to add more lore books, but the person who designed their website, I guess, isn't there anymore, and they haven't had time to get somebody else to do it. So maybe at some point, the ability to navigate to the Library of Logos was removed from the website, and they just don't have somebody to fix that. I don't know. I'll try to talk to Victor about it and see what's going on with that. But there's the link directly to the Library of Logos. Okay, it was also on the link tree. Cool. Anyways. Hey, thank you so much, Derek. I appreciate it. You've been here for, pretty much since the stream began, so I appreciate you hanging out for all that time and for all the questions that you asked and everything else. Really appreciate your support, Derek. All right, enjoy your night. Have a good one, and hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. No idea when I'll actually live stream again, but I'm sure I will again. Anita's favorite story was The Rejected. Was that that's the one with the I can't remember. The demon wolf. The name, I'm blanking on the name. The animal analog to Cambion. Damn it. Anyways, yeah. That one was really good. That one was really good. Can't believe I'm blanking on what the name of that creature is, but yeah, that one was really good. My favorite was actually the first one that I read, Sahana, and I think it's one of the main reasons I like Ogre so much. But that was the first of the lore books that I read, and I don't know. The ogres are my favorite race at this point. We'll see if they continue to be so, but I think they probably will stay my favorite. But anyways, yeah, Sahana was my favorite, and then after that, the Horsemen. The Jungarian Horsemen are extremely interesting, and that story was very well done. I believe that story was personally written by Victor as well. Chimera, thank you. Yes, Chimera. That is what I was trying to think of. That is the word I was reaching for. All right. Well, we found the new part of the dungeon at least, so that's good, I suppose. Yeah, Chimera, who ends up with well, I guess I shouldn't spoil it for anyone who hasn't read it. It's a good story, and it gives a pretty cool perspective on what it might be like to be a Chimera, or I suppose a Cambion. I don't know why I can't hit that bear, but oh damn, I'm almost dead. I haven't saved in a while either. Better save right now. Really? They said that you could have a Chimera. Well, I wish you had been here earlier whenever we were talking about the possibility of followers. The last I had heard is that followers were probably a no-go, although I did mention that in the lore that orcs had, wolf companions that they would use to hunt and whatnot, so maybe an animal companion would at least be lore-friendly. And it sounds like you're saying that you've heard from them recently that, animal companions will be a thing, or at least could be, if not will be. Have you heard anything different on actual like human or humanoid followers, I guess? Because the last I had heard that aside from playing co-op like that wasn't going to be a thing. It would make sense if you had a Chimera following you, though, that, people would want to attack and kill it, and probably you for associating with it. I don't feel like that should be universal, but it should definitely be, like, a 99% thing. Because, if they look anything like their photos, that's just how people would react to that. Well, at the very least, it's in the thought process. It could be a possibility, and animal companion seems like one of those things that, like, I feel like it could happen if like Once Lost Games might give us that ability in the actual game, like 1.0, to have animal companions. Possibly feels like more of a probably not than a probably so, but still very possible, maybe like 60-40 or whatever. But I mean, that's definitely one of those things where it's like 99% chance that somebody would definitely mod it in, if Once Lost Games didn't give it to us. Whew, scared me. I shot the body there. Creepy. Feels like they just let this person starve to death and rot, and then these people are just hanging. Yep, definitely creepy. I meant to try to climb there, but I did not do a very good job of climbing at all. Damn it. I am never going to find my way out of this place, am I? I mean, I will eventually, but... You know, one thing I did not do, we never actually checked our log in case of emergency. So we just got to get out of here and go back to her and be like, what the hell? And she'll pay us, I guess. All right, fair enough. All right, secret doors. Another secret door. Problem is, secret doors can just lead to frickin' nowhere. Oh my god, we're right back where we started. Exactly where we started. Hooray for us. I will say that I'm glad that Once Lost Games is not going to have dungeons be such labyrinthian mazes the way that they were here in Daggerfall. Like that's not going to be happening. I do hope that every now and then, like maybe like 1 out of every 30 or 40 dungeons gets a little labyrinthian and whatnot, but like 96% should certainly not be that way. Here in Daggerfall, like almost 100% of them are that way. You know what? We need to go up, not down. So maybe if we just keep going up, every time we get a chance, just go up. And then we'll eventually reach the surface, right? That's how reaching the surface works. You just go up and up and up until you're there. Except there doesn't really seem to be any other way to... Anyways, I do want to thank everybody for coming and hanging out and seeing the end of the Kickstarter with us. It is now officially done. Thanks again to everybody who backed it, and appreciate y'all hanging out with us and, you know, seeing it to its full conclusion. Like I said, it does feel like a bit of an end of an era. And now it's into the hardcore alpha development era for the Wayward Realms. I'm not going to go quite yet. I'm going to try to at least finish the rest of this dungeon on the stream. And I am, of course, still here to talk about anything Wayward Realms related that anybody would like to talk about. So if you got something on your mind, you know, bring it up. Let us know. Tell us, ask us, whatever it is. Could talk about the factions of Ijar, Nado's financial acquisitions, NFA. They're probably my favorite faction, mostly just because the idea of them is so freaking awesome. I would love to be a goblin and get to join them, which we of course won't be able to do. I'll probably join them as a human or an orc, I guess, since that's all we'll have available to us in the alpha. They do seem like they should be pretty interesting, though. The Port Authority does not seem very interesting to me. Knights Errant also don't seem very interesting to me. Godsend and Anatork's armies don't seem very interesting to me. Baron's Men, again, no. Bowman's Bastards could be kind of interesting. I'd say after NFA, they're probably the next most interesting. Then I mentioned earlier the Corvus Monastery and the monks that are there. Now, We haven't heard any type of mention of them as being a playable faction in the alpha, so they probably won't be. But I do hope that we at least get to interact with them and they are a faction. I do also hope that the city is still monk run and that we will get to see Sarkanya worship there, since they're supposed to be Sarkanya worshippers. Who knows if any and all of that will actually happen, but, you know, it can be hopeful. I wouldn't know if it was an airplane reference or not. Aside from the Shirley line, I know nothing about that movie. I think that was from that movie, right? Pretty sure it was. Anyways. Yeah, Joe was here earlier at the beginning of the stream, and he actually mentioned that then. I think he may have also mentioned it on Discord. But, yeah, I mean, here over the last month or so, I wish I'd saved the numbers, because about a month or so ago, I looked at the numbers, and I wish I'd saved what it actually was. But I know that they've gotten, you know, tens of thousands of dollars here over this past month, which should be enough to, carry them through to the alpha delivery. And then the alpha delivery is basically going to be the early access, anyways, just with some more feedback and some more polish. But yeah, good to have actual confirmation from the team that that is financially, that they are capable of getting there financially. And thanks to everybody who helped back the game to make that possible. All right, I guess we're just gonna have to go down here, I think is what we're gonna have to do. We checked like everywhere else, I'm pretty sure. Oh, look, I found it. Ha! Wow. We were right there the whole time. We could have just turned this way earlier. Like, that is where we started off at here. So we could have just gone bam, 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 bam. Like, we could have been out of here in like 2 minutes. Not including combat, I guess. Maybe like 5 minutes including combat. If we actually knew where the heck we were going. And anyways, we are out of here. Dun, dun, dun. Hurrahs for us. Now we got to go to Daggerfall and kill that witch, Yasena, for sending us here. Let's go recklessly. Just because I want to get attacked by some ghosts when we reach Daggerfall. Ah, really? Any other time I traveled recklessly, I would have shown up here at night. Under the shining sun, a group of healers from the Temple of Kinnereth, Adjor. Do they mean Abjor? I feel like they mean Abjor, but I could be wrong. Anyways, the people to learn a basic first aid, to solve small problems without requiring the temple's healers. They offer a demonstrative clinic charging 200 gold pieces per head to teach mending basic wounds. The full lesson will take 3 hours. Do you apply to learn from them? I mean, ordinarily, these things are a pretty good idea because a couple of 100 gold to get one of your skills improved is not bad, but I mean, it's actually a pretty worthless skill, and I don't even know if I have 200 gold right now, so I'm going to remove or refuse it. All right. I don't actually know where I saw Yacinna at. I'm pretty sure it was in a tavern, and there's only one tavern that we've been to because it's labeled. So I'm going to assume it's there. I hope it's there. We're going to find out. But yeah, I think it's probably there. Yeah, so really do hope that we get to see some like if not gameplay footage or screenshots, like maybe we could at least get to see some UI footage, inventory, weapons, armor, that kind of stuff in the coming weeks, possibly for the Wayward Realms. Again, that might be the kind of stuff that they just save until the very end, like the actual gameplay visuals, but maybe they'll get some of that work done beforehand, just to give us something to look at. Although I know a lot of people are not really feeling the screenshots and the static images so much anymore, but you know, those people we'll just have to wait. I'm still feeling them. Definitely better than nothing at all. Aha, I found you. Yacinna, you better pay me like 10,000 gold for what the hell you did to me. Which I know you're not going to, but... My word, Argonian! I've been worried sick since I saw you warp off into the great unknown. Where did it send you? How did you get out? Oh, how awful. Thank you for setting my mind at ease on both counts. If it helps, I have this money set aside for you. I hope it compensates your trouble. I mean, it pays for my plague cure from earlier, I guess. So, it's not worth it, but that's all I'm going to get, so I'll take what I can get. Another devlog would be pretty great, but I don't know. I really don't think we're getting another devlog until like a few days or maybe like a week before the alpha releases. Like, yeah, I think we'll get another devlog when the alpha's ready, or like days away from being ready, just so that they can make us aware of everything that'll be in the alpha, because that's what they've kind of said repeatedly over and over again that they're going to do. Like, you know, release a video like just kind of detailing everything that's there in alpha. And I would appreciate a devlog before then, but devlogs take, you know, time and resources to create, and I feel like all that's going towards the getting the alpha ready. So I don't think it's likely that we get a devlog until the alpha's ready, or maybe just a few days from ready. We'll have to see. But I do agree that it would be pretty awesome. We should have asked Yacinna to allow us to... Just one day is fine. Thank you. Goodbye. I wonder if they'd let me rent out the room for like 1,000,000 days. Just like, that's mine forever. Probably not. Thank you. I felt like I was definitely channeling my inner Yasena there. I don't know. I felt like that's what she would sound like. I'm glad you appreciated it. Well, maybe we do get a devlog in the summer then. Although originally they thought the summer was going to be like post-alpha, so I don't know. Still kind of feels like maybe post-alpha is what they're shooting for there. But I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know. That's how I feel, but we could definitely be getting a devlog sooner than what I'm expecting. If they wanted to reassure people, they would do that. I just am not sure if that's their primary concern. I know Joe keeps talking about, well, it doesn't matter how upset. Well, not that he's saying it doesn't matter how upset people are. It's just that he's saying even if people are upset about the delay, that the game's still coming out either way, whether they are upset about the delay or not. Makes it feel like maybe they're not prioritizing, assuaging people's feelings or fears as much as they are actually getting the alpha ready, is how I feel. But again, could be wrong. Yes, I agree to your terms, which is what I should have said earlier if I'd been paying attention. Queen Anubki. I have a special task, but I'll be signing your death warrant. When you are more skillful, return to me and I may give it to you. Okay. Guess we should talk politely. Okay, so we're still waiting to come back and speak to the queen then, it seems like. Inventory. Letter of credit. Okay, so that's the letter that we were actually waiting for. I probably had it for a while and just frickin' forgot about it. Heard about your accident at sea and feared the worst. Now that I've heard that you're alive and well, I would like the opportunity to meet with you and discuss our beloved Emperor's mission in Iliac Bay. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lady Magnuson, the Emperor's agent in the court of Daggerfall. My position is not so official as an ambassador. None but other agents of the Emperor know of my true affiliation. The Iliac Bay is rife with rebels against the Imperial throne, so your discretion is required. For the purpose of our meeting, I will take a room at the inn, the Black Goblin, in Buckingham Hall of Daggerfall for a month. Okay, so we need to go to the Black Goblin in Buckingham Hall. Okay. Well, at least we know where we're going. I agree. I need... Oh! The ghosts are here. The ghosts made it. Oh, crap. I can't do anything about the ghosts either. Where's the guard? Guard, save me. Do they follow me inside of an inn? Anyways, yeah, I agree. It does suck that that the game was delayed. I don't like that the game was delayed. But it is what it is. You know, Once Lost Games, just a group of people trying to create a game, and like any people, like, you know, they're fallible. They can only do what they can do. You know, and like getting mad about it or upset about it isn't really going to help anything. In fact, it's, if anything, just gonna kind of make things worse. So yeah, it is what it is, and we just kind of have to wait. You know, hopefully we've only got to wait 2 to 3 months. The point is that, though, that the game will be out. The alpha will be released, and once it is, like, this will all just be water under the bridge, whatever else. So You know, if it's something that you're upset about now, like, you're kind of just wasting your time being upset because you're being upset over something that's maybe delayed, but it's not like it's um never going to happen. It's just like, you gotta wait a couple more months. I mean, it definitely needed the delay. The gameplay footage that Victor showed off the other day whenever he made the announcement for the delay was like, it was all placeholders. And I mean, while it looked fine for some pre-alpha placeholder version of the game, if they showed something that was even like, I don't know, 100% better than that, so like twice as good, like, I think people would kind of freak out. Personally, it wouldn't bother me that much, as long as they had the actual art style right. But that wasn't even the art style that they're going for. You know, it's all just full placeholders. So yeah, they're definitely a pretty good ways away at this point. I don't think that they could possibly have released the alpha version this month and given any of us anything even resembling like something that's presentable. Doesn't feel like it anyways. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, if they release it the way it is now, they would get destroyed. I mean, the hardcore fans like you and me and most of the people in the Discord and a lot of others like would step up and defend it and stick with it and whatever else like would be understanding of it, I guess is a better way to put it. But there'd be like, we would be dwarfed. The understanding people would be dwarfed by the people who are up in arms. So, I mean, it may have sucked to have to delay it, but it would have been a lot worse if they had not delayed it and released it the way that it is right now. Like, I'm sure that would have been far, far worse. The early access has a better chance of being successful if the alpha is more complete whenever they release it. And if the early access is not successful, then they're probably not getting a publisher. So whatever they have to do to make sure that the early access is as successful as possible is what they should do. And I feel like that's what they are doing. I thought it was Buckingham Hall that it's... Isn't that what it said? Buckingham Hall? Go read it again, I guess. Buckinghouse Hall, not Buckingham. I mean, it's the only thing that makes logical sense, and it's what they have to do. Like, you know, whatever the short-term pain or problems it might cause, like, as long as they have the best chance of actually getting the game made, like, they've got to do that. Like, what gives them that best chance, which is what they are doing. Well, you look awful fancy. So yeah, I'm gonna say that it's you that I'm looking for. Why don't you have arms? Are those supposed to be your arms? Whatever. Thank you for responding to my letter, Thrin. I am Lady Brisiana. Let me bring you to date on affairs. The specter of King Lysandus haunts the streets of Daggerfall at night. Trying to communicate with him is futile. He will occasionally moan the word vengeance, but that is the only coherent word I have ever heard him utter. If you are ever in Daggerfall, do not wander the city at night. You are certain to be attacked by his legion of ghosts. It would be probably more gainful to investigate those who might have wronged Lysandus, to find the cause behind his torment. I do not know if the royal family of Daggerfall or another person or persons merit more suspicion. The major powers of the Bay, Sentinel, Wayrest, and Daggerfall, may be good places to start. In the matter of the letter, the Emperor's agent says that he was unable to deliver it to the Queen because of the war. He hired a courier who supposedly delivered the letter in his stead. We do not even know the name of this courier. Obviously, there is little information of use, but it would be worthwhile to see whether the letter arrived at Castle Daggerfall at all. How you decide to do this is entirely your decision. I will contact you if any new information should surface. I am leaving Daggerfall soon. My position here has been compromised and my life is in danger. Do not mention my name in court. It is more likely to hurt than help. Good luck, and watch your back, Thrin. Alright, well thanks, Lady Brisiana. Yeah, let's go ahead and get a room over here, I suppose. Wow. The weird setup for an inn. Looks more like a barracks or something, but okay. All right, well, I think we are going to go ahead and end the stream here. All right, once again, thanks everybody for coming, for hanging out. Definitely appreciate all of you. Especially Anita here at the end, helping me keep the chat going as much as possible. Thanks everybody for supporting the Wayward Realms and for supporting Lorespire as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that I can keep you up to date with as much Wayward Realms content as possible. And please don't forget to check out the website. Right here, the Wayward or the Lorespire.com. Check this out. It's got all the Wayward Realms info that you need up here on the website. Pretty much everything that you can find in my videos, plus a bunch of stuff that is not in the videos. So yeah, check that out whenever you have a chance. There's a link to it. And the Kickstarter for the Wayward Realms is officially over. So if you want to support the Wayward Realms financially, you will have to do so by purchasing merchandise from their merch store. I'll drop a link to that into the chat real quick. But the best way is probably not financially supporting them through the purchase of merchandise. The best way to support the Wayward Realms and Once Lost Games is probably just to share news of the project. Every time they drop an announcement, share it on your social media. Every time you see a piece of content for the Wayward Realms, share it as much as you can and encourage other people to do so as well. The more people that we make aware of the game, the more likely that the early access is to be a success, and the more likely that it's a success, the more likely that the Wayward Realms turns out awesome in the end. Anyways, yeah, thanks everybody for showing up, for hanging out. Take care, Sam. Take care, Mangrum and Anita and Priestley and Wayfarer and any and everybody else who's here. All right, appreciate y'all's time. Have a good night. This has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.